screaming teenagers are at New York's Kennedy Airport to greet, you guessed it, the Beatles.
There are few truly iconic images, but during the 1960s, those of four young friends from Liverpool, whose music shook the world, made history.
Well, shake it up, baby, now. Shake it up, baby. Twist and shout, twist and shout.
So Paul, thank you so much for inviting us into this fantastic exhibition, going back an incredible 60 years to that initial explosion of Beatlemania. What do you remember about the time that these photos come from?
To me, it's just exciting seeing us. We were like on an upwards ramp going to London, Paris, New York, Washington, Miami. It's just great memories for me.
And why are you sharing them with the world now?
Because I just discovered them. But you know, there's pictures I took in the 60s. I didn't realise how many there were. Loads of them.
And they're also a book which is called Eyes of the Storm.
Yeah.
Tell me about the title.
Well, the four of us were like the eyes looking out at the storm. And then you had the cameramen who were eyes looking in on us. And then there was the audience, or the fans. So everywhere you went, there was eyes in the storm, you know, so that's how the title came about.
What was it like to be the subject of that attention, and what were you trying to capture in these photos?
Well, you know, it was great because we're kids from Liverpool. I mean, I look at it, I think we're like early 20s when these are taken. It was like such a thrill to be going to like places like New York, where all the music that we loved was coming from. Just seeing all the people in the streets screaming and waving at us and stuff. It was like, wow. I mean, it was what we'd hoped for. It was what we were working for. We wanted fame.
But I think you had delayed going to America because you said, let's not go until we're number one.
Yeah. I thought the worst thing would be to just go over and like be just these four guys having a little play. Thank you. Good night. So I said, you should have a number one.
How was it for you looking back through these images and going back to that time and all of those early passions?
To actually go to Paris and take pictures of the street and pictures of people, it's like we were in a movie French film or something, you know. And each place we went to had a character. So now looking back on it, it's my history, it's the Beatles' history, and just the style of how things were then.
Exactly, and some of the images are actually quite poignant. For example, in some of the American images, we get a sense of your unease at seeing armed police. What was that like for you?
You've got to imagine what our heads were. We're English guys, and we've never been to America. And I've got my camera on, taking pictures like a tourist, you know. And we're in the car, then a motorcyclist escort pulls up right next to the window. Well, he's got like his gun in a holster, and he's on this cool motorbike. So to me, it was like jaw dropping. So I had to get that picture. I only took one, just bingo.
It's a great shot.
Yeah.
And then when you get to Miami, we see yet another side. As I think you say in the book, only a Beatle could have taken these pictures, and it's so true. You get those intimate, unguarded moments. And there's one picture that you really love of George. Why do you love that shot so much?
So he's by the pool, he's got himself a drink, he's got a tan, he's got the shades. So it's like, that's it, he's living the life.
Yeah. You know, we see images of particularly the Black American artists who inspired you, you befriended. Of course, in the 60s, the time was defined by the civil rights struggle in the States. How much of that were you exposed to, and how did you react to it?
When we got to America, we're down in the southern states, and we suddenly get told that we've got to play to a segregated audience. That's the way we do it down here. What, you mean the black people in one bit and the white people in the other? No, we don't do that. So we just refused to, and we said, no, we're not going to play unless it's a non-segregated audience. And it was a lovely story. Later, there was a girl, a black girl, who went to the concert. So she's sitting amongst all the white fans, and they're all just loving the show, and they're screaming and everything. And she said, I'd never sat with white people ever before. She said, and here they were like friends, and we're all like loving this group. For me, I think that was very emotional. It still is.
And I love her.
So all these photos bring back all those little memories.
I wonder if there's anything that you wished you'd had your camera to hand but didn't manage to capture.
Meeting the Queen would have been good just to say, yes, Mom. quick. You know, but those are in what we call the Soul's camera. You haven't got you take it in your Soul's camera. It's great.
Sir Paul McCartney, thank you.
You're very welcome, Harold.
So I'll follow the sun.